We're going to look at mass transit in the area of the project. We're going to look at the transportation principles that have been developed over quite a number of years by BrooklynSpeaks. And we'll look briefly at Times Plaza, which is a matter of perennial interest. To start with mass transit, we're looking at really what surrounds Site 5, which is where PC Richards and the former Models are. You have 11 bus stops, those are noted by the red circles. Have the BQ subway and the Long Island Railroad over here. Have the 2345 subway here and DNR subway here. The entrances to the subway are here, pardon me, on this side of Flatbush Avenue, and then on this side of Atlantic Avenue, and then there's another entrance right here. So it's very transit-rich environment, but there are some constraints on access to and from the subway and the Long Island Railroad. One of our transportation principles is to introduce new subway entrances and to relocate others. And for Site 5, we're proposing two. One on the Flatbush Avenue side, which would connect with an existing stairway within the station, and another on the 4th Avenue side that would supplement the existing entrance and elevator. We're proposing an additional new entrance here. See the yellow star here, that we propose to be fully accessible, and it would be nearer to Dean Street. This would capture a lot of people who use this complex, who come from the south, and to ease overcrowding at the existing entrances. Another principle is we should add incremental subway capacity by studying speed limit increases on the subway line serving the station and providing for full-time operation of the B train. In my day job, I've been involved with both of these. We did a study in 2019 pointing out some quick wins that would safely increase speeds, and how the MTA would be able to do this absent a very lengthy and costly implementation of communications-based train control, which is an advanced signaling system. Then last year we looked at the possibility of full-time B service, and there's no indication from the MTA how enthused they are about that. The next principle is that shelters should be constructed at each bus stop in the area. Going back to the second slide, you saw circles where the bus stops are. There are a total of 11 of them. And why would we want these? Safety, convenience, and comfort. Where we want people to go to the site by mass transit to the greatest extent possible, and to have a safe and comfortable environment is one way to encourage that. Another principle that the police department has to have sufficient resources devoted to this area for enforcement of illegal parking and idling, especially during arena events. In last week's presentation and discussion, there was some mention of the situation outside of Shake Shack and Chick-fil-A. This is an area where police and DOT need to come to an understanding and take a common position. Why do we want this? I mean, it's a quality of life issue, but it adds significantly to congestion and pollution. And then there's illegal parking in bus stops, which is a pet peeve of mine. It creates a hazard for bus riders. And if a bus has to board and discharge riders out in the street rather than at the curb, wheelchair users can't get to the bus. That's a big problem. So, and this is a commonplace in the area. We need this remedied. Next principle is approval by the state, because the state has to do it, of a residential permit parking system within a 5-block radius of the arena. And this is a perennial issue. There are several of us on this call who have been involved with this for many years. Why? What is the so what of this? To try to mitigate congestion, to encourage greater use of public transportation, and to address directly the fact, it's not the perception, it's the fact of people driving around and around and around trying to get parking in the area. The next principle is Site 5, again, where the former Models and the current PC Richard are, has to include pickup and drop off within the lot lines of its development, including internal loading docks and bays. This is critical. We can't have loading and unloading on very busy streets. There's a very robust street design discussion to be had around this. But going in this direction would mitigate congestion and improve street safety, and we believe optimize operations at whatever is built on Site 5. It'd be remiss if we didn't make some mention of Times Plaza, which has been a perennial problem and an issue. A number of years ago, DOT modified the traffic patterns of the crosswalks and expanded the plaza. They did a lot of what they proposed in 2017 to do, but not all of it. There's a robust discussion that could be had about any improvements that should be part of this project. So when we go to the breakout sessions, which is imminent, we'll be asking the participants a number of questions. And one of them is, how is this working? And this being the steps that are shown in the illustration that were implemented a number of years ago, and what else, if anything, should be done at this area. So that wraps up the presentation. We're ready to go to the breakout rooms.